Feeling stuck is like being trapped in a never ending cycle of inertia, where progress and motivation seem elusive. It's that sense of frustration, that helplessness that can cast a shadow over our aspirations and dreams. Whether it's our personal life or professional life, the sensation of being unable to move forward can be disheartening, leaving us longing for a path to break free from the clutches of stagnation. However, understanding this state is the first step towards change, and it often paves the way for transformation, growth, and the discovery of untapped potential. In a world that never stops, burnout is all too familiar. But you have the power to reclaim your life. Introducing Healing from Burnout, your guide to renewed energy and well being, the ebook that lights the path to your refreshed, empowered self. Inside this transformative guide, discover the wisdom to manage stress and regain your vitality. Learn powerful mindfulness techniques that bring tranquility to your busy days. Unlock the secrets to rekindling your work life balance and reclaiming your passions. Written by a certified holistic coach, this ebook is not just a book, it's your personal companion in the journey to healing. Regina says she felt safe and gained clarity to find more ease for the week ahead. Rita effortlessly realized what direction her heart was pulling her in. Join the countless others who have transformed their lives with my work and healing from burnout. Experience the joy of living fully every day. Ready to embark on your journey to a vibrant, balanced self? Click the link now to get your copy of Healing from Burnout. Rediscover your vitality, reignite your passion, and embrace a life filled with purpose. Healing from Burnout, your key to a brighter tomorrow. Don't wait. Start your journey today. Hello, welcome to another episode of the Mindful Introvert podcast. This podcast helps you to get inspiration to manifest a life in alignment with your true, confident, and intuitive being. I'm Jo from mindfulintrovert.com, an inner peace and abundance coach, and my purpose here is really to help you slow down, look inwards, and create a more peaceful life by learning to trust your intuition and exploring your spirituality at a soul level. Ready to be empowered? Let's get on with the episode. Hello, welcome to another episode. Today we are going to talk about how to get unstuck. And a lot of people experience feeling stuck throughout their lives, throughout their professional, their personal life. And this is something that is completely normal. We just feel like we're alone in the world, that no one really else feels this way ever. They all have their shit figured out, right? But no one really does. Sometimes we're just pretending and we're just fooling ourselves, saying that everything is okay, that we'll get past this. Even though we sometimes feel stuck and we sometimes feel down and demoralized. And it's important to recognize the signs and the symptoms because um, many times we have just this unease feeling about us, this overall generalized unease, and we are not able to pinpoint exactly what it is that it is causing it or exactly how we are feeling. And this is a key aspect of emotional intelligence. And emotional fitness leads us to overcome this feeling by recognizing what it is, by accepting what it is, and employing tools to help us get past this. So, identifying root causes is important and raise that self awareness about this whole thing of feeling stuck. And then I'm also going to give you some strategies for breaking free, removing the shackles that bring you down and keep you stuck, some practical steps to overcome this feeling, and I will also help you gain that resilience um, uh, to be able to overcome these common obstacles, and some tips to maintain momentum, and create this routine of growth and personal development and self-care that is so important. So common signs and symptoms of feeling stuck. I'm sure that if you're here, you have experienced them some point in your life, or maybe you're experiencing them now, of that unease that I mentioned, that lack of motivation, that inertia that just wants to keep you completely stuck to the sofa and not get up and live your life, not get out of the house, not eat properly, don't hang out with friends. That it can lead to depression, it can lead to an overall anxiety that gets you in dark places in life. So it's important to recognize when these signs start to appear and what is triggering them, because our thoughts really impact how we feel as well. So it might be that you're having intrusive thoughts that are too consistent, and you're taking too much time and energy focusing on them, and recognizing what those thoughts are. You can understand that next time you have them, you can shift your focus to something else. So whenever you are feeling unstuck, when you're feeling stuck, you need to focus your attention to how you want to feel. And many times, the way that we perpetuate feeling stuck is that we continue to search for evidence of why we are stuck in life. So many times people say, "Oh, why? Why is this happening to me? Why does this always happen to me? Why another thing in life to bring me down?" And we are focusing too much on the things that keep you stuck. So maybe at work you're not progressing, you're not getting that promotion that you desire, and you feel like everyone is out for you when no one really likes you. That's why you're not getting the promotion. Or in your personal life, you feel like you've been single forever and no man ever wants to date you, or no woman ever wants to date you, and you're just going on multiple dates and nothing really happens. So you go to the next date already thinking that nothing will come out of it, no one is really serious and wants to share their life with you. So you perpetuate this sensation because of the thoughts that you're continuing to have. And it's normal, it's absolutely normal. I want to normalize feeling stuck, because once you have evidence of something that is negative and brings you down and holds you back, um, allowing you to continue to feel stuck, once you have that evidence and you don't have evidence of feeling motivated, of feeling empowered and feeling purposeful in life, it's very difficult to create a mindset of something that it isn't there presently, or it hasn't been in the past, right? So obviously your mind is going to create something that you have awareness about, and you have just examples in your life about. So it can be challenging to create an example of a future that you're not really sure how it's going to turn out, and you're just being hopeful that it will turn out better than the past has. So it's completely normal to feel some resistance towards creating unstuckness. But by identifying your root causes, what keeps you feeling stuck, it's one step forward to understand how you want to feel instead, by contrast. And contrast is something that I cannot say I love, but I appreciate, because that contrast is what keeps us growing. And when you experience contrast, that's actually one of the laws of the universe, the laws of polarity. So for happiness, the opposite would be sadness, right? So for stuckness would be unstuckness, or motivation, or um, whatever you might identify it with. But that's why contrast is so important in life, because by you understanding what you do not want, you can begin to understand or clarify what you do want. So when people tell me, "Oh, I just feel stuck. I just feel like I don't know anything, that I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. lack clarity, I lack clarity. And people get stuck in this feeling of lacking clarity because they are focusing on what they do not have, that scarcity. And so I say, okay, so appreciate this state that you're in of not knowing or believing that you do not know, because that means that, and especially because nothing is the same all the time, so it's a constant change. If it means that you're stuck right now, you will eventually seek clarity and you will eventually find it and you will get past this and you will experience that motivation and that all of the things that you want to experience opposite to feeling stuck. So why not bring it closer right now? Because you keep perpetuating the stuckness. That's the energetic match that you are in right now. So start to think of what you do want to feel rather than what you're feeling right now. And start to look for what lights you up and what brings you joy and brings you that confidence and that motivation and that empowerment that you want to feel, rather than continuously thinking of what keeps you stuck. So if you're in a financial struggle, obviously it's important to recognize that you're presently in a financial struggle, but at the same time it's important to focus on creating a better future by removing language that keeps you broke, removing thoughts that keep you in that energy state of struggle. So it goes by saying, okay, I recognize that this is my present situation right now, but that means that I can do better. I can change the situation. Something unexpectedly might happen. Some help from external sources, people might happen. Maybe there's a tax refund error in your favor. Maybe there's a bill that was overpaid and now they're giving the money back. So, whatever it might be, create that hope and um, that future that is way more empowering by focusing on how you want to feel, instead feeling gratitude for the things that are not making you feel stuck. So if you're stuck on in your career, maybe your love life is going well, instead of feeling stuck in both things, because that's something that might happen. Once you start feeling stuck in your career, you start bleeding that onto your personal life, and then everything becomes a mess. So focus on what goes really well and bring that energy onto your career. So, some of the strategies to break free from feeling stuck are really to set clear and achievable goals, meaning that, and with this, I have to say that I agree and I don't agree. So, you have to have goals, but setting these clear and achievable goals, this achievable, I would say, as possible. So, even if you don't see how it can be achievable, how it can be possible, simply believe that it will be. Because with the forces of the universe, you don't have to do everything alone. The universe is cooperating with you, co creating with you, and it has knowledge that you consciously cannot have. So if you tap into your unconscious power and surrender to the universe, at the same time creating those clear goals alongside with the universe, you are going to get there. And I always like this analogy of the GPS, right? The sat nav. So if you see yourself wanting to go somewhere, and wanting to get to that destination, meaning your goal, you're going to put that goal, the destination on the GPS, the sat nav, right? On your phone, on maps, or whatever. And the universe, being that GPS, knows the roadblocks, knows the best way to get there. You just need to trust that you are in good hands, getting led to where you want to go, taking that action to continue to follow the GPS. You cannot go off path and just do whatever you want to do without taking that inspired action. That inspired action that a lot of people talk about is following the cues that the universe leads you, is following your intuition at the same time, following what feels like the least resistance path, and that is following the sat nav. That is just allowing the universe to take you there. And sometimes you don't have to exactly know like the full address of the destination that you want to reach, right? Meaning that you don't have to exactly know all the details of your goal. Sometimes it's okay to start with a feeling, but that feeling needs to be clear. You cannot just be, oh, I want to be happy, you know? No, it has to be clear in your body. You need to embody that feeling. So if you want to be happy because you are living comfortably, because you have plenty of money to not worry about your bills, not worry about food, anything, you have to embody that feeling. And this is where visualization comes in. And this visualization is not just visualizing your goal, the ultimate destination. It is feeling, embodying everything about that goal. Is feeling what you'll feel once you achieve it. Is listening, hearing what you're going to be hearing when you achieve it. If it's someone congratulating you, imagine those sounds in your head as they would be happening once you actually achieve your goal. And it's just seeing what you'll see with the most clear details that you can when you actually achieve that goal. So, when sometimes people say that you need to be precise and clear and specific when setting goals and doing manifestation visualizations, yes, it is important, but you can start with a feeling. Because I think that sometimes people feel stuck because they feel, oh, this is too difficult. I don't know if I'm doing this right. This whole manifestation thing, this is just bullshit. How can people do this? Just lucky people that get there. No, it's not just lucky people. It's trial and error. See what works for you. But one thing that I can say is that being specific is important, yes, but you can get more and more specific as you go along, as you build your vision. You can be more specific in how you want to feel. You can be more specific in the people that will be around you. So it doesn't really matter. I can tell you that how I manifested going to the Maldives, I started with a vision of me seeing just the water and feeling the sun on my face and just hearing silence. That's how I started, right? But then I started to imagine more and more things. So I imagine people around me. I imagine the sounds of the waves, of the music that I would be listening to, the drinks that I would be having by the pool or by the beach or whatever, you know? So I started to give more and more details. And I have to say that when I actually went, it turned out way better than I actually thought it would. So it's important to start with a vision or a sound or a feeling, but it doesn't have to be extremely specific right off the bat. Don't overwhelm yourself like I know sometimes people have the tendency to do, because you start small and then you build on that vision. And you have to have a really growth mindset, because you have to allow yourself to embody this and go in this vision and this almost other dimension. Because, and this is where sometimes it's best to just keep it to yourself how you are doing this, because many people are not going to understand what you're doing, and they're going to call you crazy. But then when they actually see your results, they'll be like, oh, tell me how you did it, right? So as you're doing it, it's up to you, obviously, how you want to do it, but allow yourself to go there. And that's some of the things that helped me when I started was keep it a secret or not really share what I was doing in my mind, because you don't have to share what goes in your mind or what you're doing. So that way I released the pressure of feeling judged by others, and I just did my own thing. So do your own thing, but at the same time, allow yourself to go there, allow yourself to tap into your intuition, tap into your creativity, and be self-compassionate and kind and supportive to whatever pops up and whatever you desire, really. Just simply immerse yourself in your true desires. If money was not a problem, if time was not a problem, if nothing, no struggles existed, and no fear existed, nothing to hold you down, hold you back, how would you choose to live your life? If no fear, rejection, judgment, um, anything was really troubling you, how would you live your life? How would you be of service? How would you spend your days? How? Just think like that. Allow yourself to go there, because you're creating an illusion. But the beauty of this is that everything is an illusion. Even the worst case scenarios that you play in your mind, even those intrusive thoughts, they are illusions. So some those illusions will come to life the more energy you put in them. So if you are thinking about your worst case scenarios over and over and over again, I guarantee they are going to happen. And I can tell you an example of this. I used to live somewhere that was close to my workplace, so I would cycle there, right? And here in the UK, it gets dark really early, so I would leave my job and I would cycle back home at night already. And the way to go to my old house, where I would put the bike in the shed, I would have to go through a very dark alley to get to my garden, because it was just enclosed and behind all the houses and whatever. It was very dark. And every day I would be just so afraid, because I knew that if anyone would follow me, no one would really know what was happening, because it was extremely dark. And even though it was the middle of the houses, I knew that I probably wouldn't be heard, or people wouldn't care. And I always had that unease feeling that something would happen, that, oh, what if someone follows me? And I kid you not, one day I was going the same thing that I did every day. I was going to my garden. I pop my bike against the shed, go back to close the garden door, and what do I see? A man there looking at me, an old man in my garden looking at me. I freaked out. I said, "What you doing here?" And like loud, so that the neighbors would hear. "What you doing here? This is private property. You're trespassing." Blah 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 blah. The guy was not responding, and I just freak out. Open the back door from the kitchen. Yell to my boyfriend at the time, "Call the police, a man is here." He calls the police. At the same time, I start to talk to the man, because he was non-reactive, he was not doing anything. And I start to recognize, to understand that he was confused. He was an old gentleman, and he looked proper dressed, and he looked well taken care of, and it just looked confused. And I thought, okay, so like, do you need help? I started to ask, do you need help? Because I started to realize that he was just confused and not really sure what was happening. And he says, yes, yes, I need help. I said, where do you live? Where is your family? Blah, blah, blah. Just trying to make that conversation, understanding what was going on, because at the same time, the police dispatch was trying to get information of what was going on. And so he starts to say, "Oh, I live here. I live here." Obviously, he didn't live there. I live there. But all of the situation. So basically, it was a gentleman that got lost from his carer, and then got a ride, because I saw him getting off a van. So I'm sure that the van just gave him a ride. He said, "Oh yeah, I live right here." So nothing suspicious there. And so he was lost. He had Alzheimer's, I think, and he was lost from his carer. But all of that situation was so stressful. And then I had the police in my house to take the gentlemen away. And it was just so stressful. And it just, yes, it turned out to be okay. Thankfully, we were able to help the gentleman, but it scared me to death. And it gave me that um, idea, that recognition of, yes, what you think of materializes. So if you are building an illusion, you better be building a good illusion, because that is what your future, excuse me, is going to turn out. So build a beautiful illusion. It doesn't matter if no one really understands your vision. You don't have to tell your vision to anyone. Sometimes the manifestation energy doesn't get impacted by others, but other people energy when you don't tell anyone. So build that growth mindset, cultivate that vision, nurture that vision, seek help and guidance from mentors, coaches, therapists, whoever you need to help you to release this stuck feeling. And remember to be compassionate, because I know that when I feel stuck, I feel alone. Even though I might be surrounded by loved ones, I feel alone, because that is your brain just dissociating yourself from everyone and keeping you in that stuckness. So if you recognize that you are feeling that way, and it's okay, it will pass, and you start to focus on how you want to feel instead and create a plan to progress and continue that self-improvement, that is what's going to take you out of there. Recognizing that this too shall pass, it's going to be okay. um so yeah, I've already gave you a lot of tips on how to overcome this, how to build this vision, shift your focus, at the same time accept that it is happening. Because I don't, a lot of people say, oh, we cannot recognize what is happening in our present moment because that is going to perpetuate it there. No, accepting something and letting it go is completely different than actively focusing on it every day, day in and day out. So it's accepting it, recognize that is there. Okay, I'm feeling stuck. I know this. I've been through this and I overcome this. So now I'm going to let it go. I'm going to bring compassion. I'm going to bring kindness and self-love. And I am going to allow this to go away and surrender to the universe, knowing that it has better things in store for me. So that is my idea and my uh, things that I want to share with you this episode. And the way that you don't go back to feeling stuck, or at least you build that emotional fitness to actually recognize that you're stuck and start to employ the things that you need to do to get unstuck, is really to is really that, saying to yourself, okay, there it is, that familiar stuck feeling. So, how did I do this in the past to get over this? What brings me joy? How do I want to live my life? Where do I want to go? How can I bring purpose into my life? How can I feel fulfilled every day? How do I want to choose to live my life? What do I need to change? What thoughts do I need to have that why am I struggling? What thoughts do I need to have that are empowering and that are going to help me to be motivated and confident in myself? Who am I truly? This one is very important. Who am I? Because a lot of the times you feel like you're just anxious. You're not anxious. That's not who you are. You are experiencing anxiety. Even if you're experiencing depression, you are experiencing depression and you can get out of it. It's within your power, it's your choice. And this is a very unpopular opinion. Oh, it's your choice. I'm not saying when it comes to unbalanced, like chemical imbalance and very actual mental health diseases. That's not what I'm saying. But the thoughts that you have, you choose. And it's not comfortable. I'm telling you, it's not comfortable to shift your thoughts. It's not, especially when your default mode is to have worst case scenario type of mindsets. It's challenging, but it's worth it, because then you build that resilience muscle. Then you build that uh, concept and that strength to break your old patterns. This takes a lot of self reflection and ongoing self improvement. So you'll get there. You are. And if you're here listening to this part of the episode, it truly means that you're truly committed to yourself. So it will be okay. You will be okay. Simply choose to focus on something different. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time. Bye. If you are fully committed to your growth, I invite you to book a free inner peace assessment call with me, where we create an action plan to manifest a life worth living with more inner peace and self-love. And for more inspiring content, follow me on Instagram at Coach Joanna Calado and subscribe to my YouTube channel at The Intuitive Being. I will leave everything in the show notes so that you do not miss a thing. I'll see you in the next episode, and until then, slow down and trust yourself. Bye.